Okay, and we are live.
Oh my goodness. Are we live here?
We are live. Welcome, everyone. We are using a new software today. And Yue got back right in the nick of time. I thought I was going to be doing a monologue for a little,
And you
but
know what? I'm actually pretty upset that we're all missing Julie's monologue right now.
hey, I was practicing my bits all day. No, but we are going to have a guest, so it wouldn't have been just me talking to myself. I was like, it is funny because, like a live stream, like obviously there's a lot of people here, but it would just feel like you talking to yourself for a bit.
But can you give us a sample of what your monologue would have been like? Just a sample.
I was going off the fly. I was gonna like see how it was going, but I mean, I did want to call out, like I was gonna address everyone by party peeps, which is my new favorite way to address the group.
Party peeps, not dateable.
Dateables, that's true. That's true. That's a good one. That's why I have you here. But I was thinking of, yeah, I was gonna address the group. I was gonna play some music actually, but it's okay. It's all good.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to make this so boring for
No,
you.
I'm happier to have you. I was gonna actually, my joke was gonna be that I would have had like a cardboard cutout of you normally, and that you were being awfully quiet today.
And then it's just a freeze frame of me going like that.
Exactly, exactly. No, but I'm glad it worked out.
Julie, this is your chance. Give a shout out to all the party people. Do
It's
it.
losing something when I'm in this weird dynamic right now. It's not flowing
Oh
naturally.
my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to crush your
It's
flow.
okay. It's okay. There might be a time where I can't make one or you can't make one that we could do solo again. But we're excited to be here. We're super excited to reveal our community member of the month. We
Hmm.
have a couple up top announcements though. A big one that we wanted to announce to everyone was that we actually I want to actually step back and give a little history of this group. We're
Oh,
doing a
here
little
we go.
history
We're
lesson.
listening. Mojo and I are listening. Tell us,
Get
Auntie
your pen
Julie.
and paper. We're going to do a pop quiz after. But so for all the newbies here, and all the people that have been with us from the start in this group, you know the drill. But love in the time of Corona, we started this in March of 2020 when COVID really hit. So we've acknowledged that we may need to change the name at some point.
Hmm.
COVID and beyond, right? We're toying with a few names. And we used to run happy hours within the group because Facebook had apparently had a limit of when you hit 1,000 people, you could no longer do a happy hour within the public group that we have.
Hmm.
And part of the reason too, we also were like, hey, like this group started off as, 50 to 100 people, grew to like 500 people. Now we're at 1,700 strong. So we're like going. And it's been growing and it's amazing because we're getting new perspectives, new faces, all of that. So we are super excited about the growth. But we also recognized, that like there is a team that we used to have that would lead the happy hours. And they still do this. This is also happening in the sounding board. If you're new here, we're going to talk about the sounding board a bit. You've probably heard about it. This is basically our way to preserve the smaller community as well. So have this larger 1,700 person group, but then have the smaller one where the happy hours still happen. People really are becoming friends and meeting up in real life. Like all of this stuff. This is like the core group that's really like, in it. And we've had this host team and we want to make them more prominent in the public group because a lot of the new people might not know the host team as much.
Hmm.
So we are basically going to make all the hosts moderators, and then Janice is going to become an admin. So we are, as one of our hosts said, Tony said that everyone is getting a promotion. And we are
We're doling
going to
out those promotions. You get a promotion. You get a promotion. You get a promotion. Everyone gets promoted.
everyone's going to get a promotion. But so you might see more moderators popping up, but all of them really embody dateable characteristics and really they're here as moderators to more fuel the community with the dateable values and, bring their unique personalities. And we have an episode coming up where we're going to showcase them a lot more also.
We can't wait to just basically introduce you all to the hosts. I know that for those of you who've been to the happy hours, you probably didn't get a chance to go to all the rooms or get a taste of all the hosts. And they all bring something very unique and quirky, I would
Yeah.
say. So this is our chance to get to know our hosts better, and for a chance for our hosts to show their personalities even
Mhm.
more.
Yeah, so for everyone, just to keep an eye out, we have Ryan, Shieldy, Swanee, Hisela, Tony, Jason, Caitlin, Brian. Did I hit everyone? I think so.
To Swanee.
Yep, I said
Okay.
Swanee.
All right. Those are your dateables. Shieldy.
Shieldy, I said Shieldy.
Okay.
I got Shieldy. And then Janice. Of course, Janice is still here as an
Ryan.
admin now. I said Ryan, no? Okay, but
Oh.
if not, Ryan is there. Ryan was our community member of the month last month. So he is now a moderator. So much progress.
So much. I love that in the chat, people are saying, yay. And Janice says, admin equals your mom.
So Janice actually gave me some bad news this week that I need to break to you, Yue. So
Bad news.
don't
I'm
worry.
ready for
Actually,
this.
I'm building it up too much. This is
Did
why
you
on
say
purpose.
Brian?
Yes, I said Brian.
Okay,
I said Brian.
People, Julie
I
said
know.
all the names, and now we're just having her repeat all the names. Okay, you're all demoted.
Just saying it over and over again. So Janice's news that she shared with me. You know how we revealed on this week's episode this new term that we were seeing pop up in dating profiles, dink?
Yes.
So Janice said that this is a term that's been around since the 80s.
Oh, come on, Janice. No way. I know Lava Life. I do not know Dink.
And she was saying how, because for anyone that missed it, dual income, no kids. And she was saying how her brother used to go around before he had kids saying that he was a dink. And then, it sounds so funny when you say it out loud. But then we were talking, we're like, so if you're on a dating app, are you a sink? A single income? Right.
Dink just is not, it's not a very pretty sounding word at all.
No,
do you know who's joining us, Julie, right now? Miss Deborah too. She just said, "Oh my gosh, my
Yay!
favorite podcasters of all time." We get this all the time. It's so weird when our friends tell us we're their favorite podcasters of all time. Yeah. Oh well, Yen says Dink is an old one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, apparently this is bursting our bubble a little, but it's okay. It's okay. We will come back. And Janice was like, I was amazed at how you both were just like so floored by it. So, new to us. It all rotates back, right?
Well, we're going to make up some new terms. I still like our term fluffer, a relationship fluffer, someone who sets up everybody else for relationships except for themselves. And then what was the other one that we really like?
Tater tot.
Tater tot. Tater tot is someone who's younger that you date, it's bad for you, but you just keep going back to. Julie likes the term relationship chicken. I'm pretty sure you coined that. I'm going to make sure that we have it on record that I think Julie coined that.
Trademark it? Okay.
You're going to trademark it. Dater view is another one that we came up with here. Dateable. We're just going to keep coming up with names and
Uber
terms.
Radius. That's one of my favorites.
Oh, Uber Radius.
Uber
yeah.
Radius.
That was definitely pre-COVID.
Well, still is. You don't want to be in that Uber too long.
Wait, what was GGG again? I know you told me on the episode. Now I'm already forgotten.
Good giving and game. I think it's good. It's something game. It's like it's ready to go basically.
Okay.
But that's probably like a super old term from like the 70s. Just making a comeback.
Okay. All right. Fine. GGG, Dink.
Anyways, we do want to bring on our guests, so we'll go through our really quick announcements. We have a phenomenal guest for the Dateable After Show next Thursday, Jeff Harry, who we got an overwhelming response from his episode, Make Dating Fun Again. I've been putting his principles into action multiple times, so I think what's going to be so great about this workshop with him is that he's essentially going to like help us like actually flex those playful muscles that, it's just going to be fun. It's going to be a fun time, and he's going to really like show us the ropes here.
If you haven't listened to that episode yet, Jeff Harry is a professional kid. He is a play expert, and he helps Fortune 500 companies to be more playful in the workforce, therefore increasing productivity and morale. But it also applies to dating as well, where we talked about how to bring fun back into dating again. He came up with some really neat ideas. But I was thinking about this of how I can bring playfulness into my relationship. And one thing my boyfriend and I love to do is watching The Bachelor and taking a shot every time they say the word vulnerable. It is like you'll get smashed within the first 2 minutes.
The V word, full effect.
It is so much fun because in one episode we counted that they said it 230 times. One episode.
Wow, I'm not a Bachelor fan. This is where Yue and I disagree. But that might actually inspire me to watch The Bachelor, to play that game.
Play that game. Oh, Deb says there's a new hot term called dimwad. Can you guess what that is, Julie?
Dimwad?
Dimwad.
That sounds just as bad as dink.
Can you guess? Julie can't see the chat right now, so
I have no idea what dimwad means.
Dual income married with a dog. Well, I guess
that's the dream.
I'm almost a dimwad.
So you can have kids and be a dimwad. You just need to have a dog.
Dual income married with a dog. It doesn't matter if you have kids or not.
So you could be a dink and a dimwad.
Oh shit. Double D's.
That's my aspiration, to be a dink and a dimwad.
See, we're being so playful thanks to Jeff Harry.
Exactly.
And if you come to that workshop, you're going to be more playful, just like us. And the best part of this workshop is Jeff and Louise, our very own Louise, will be holding this workshop together. If you don't know Louise, you have to get to know her. She's an integral part of our podcast, our community. She's our events. I don't know what we call, like, head of events.
Producer, yeah. She's
but
like our events.
More than that. She's our events goddess.
She's our VP of events. Yeah, I like goddess.
SVP. Let's do SVP events goddess.
No. You know what? We're not a corporate bullshit company. Okay, we're gonna be the events goddess. That's her name.
Events goddess.
Is that non-binary enough? I don't know. Yeah, it should be. Goddess could go either way.
Yeah, okay, events goddess. I'm gonna stick with that. Or warrior, events warrior.
Oh,
that's a good one,
perfect.
Right?
Events warrior. I like that.
You've got to have a little to do this, to do events. And she's also in the play space. She also has a podcast all about play too. So the two of them together will be a powerhouse, teaching us how to bring fun back into not just dating, but into our everyday life.
And this is like PG play. Just putting that out there again. It is PG play, not play party sex parties. I loved that meme, though, that you found, Yue, about how we put it on Instagram for anyone that didn't catch it. It's the funniest thing. When you sent it to me, I was like, I'm immediately putting this up right now. It's too good to even wait a second.
My 72-year-old mother just informed me she's going to her first sex party and doesn't know what to bring. And after some delicate questioning, gender reveal, Mom. It's called a gender reveal.
I may have sent that to a few group texts also. It was just so good. So good.
The new age.
I can picture having this conversation with my mom. Like 100%.
For sure. Oh no. Now it's dim whack.
Dim whack.
Oh, dual income married with a cat.
It's a good thing that we really do need to bring on our community member of the month, because this could go on for a long time. But you know what? I think before we bring on the community member of the month, I do want to say that I think Ryan actually said this. The hardest part about this whole community member of the month thing is that there's too many good people to choose from. That is our problem. We are constantly amazed by all of you, all the listeners of the Dateable community and all the active participants. But this person specifically stood out to us. I mean, first of all, a bunch of people nominated this person, but also they are always posting. They are always supporting each other. I feel like they're always offering and listening to different perspectives. And they also had a really hot date that they wrote about. So if you don't know who it is now, think
Any
it's time for a
guesses?
reveal. Yeah, let's do guesses
guesses,
before we bring them
people?
on. They had
Who
a
do you think
super
it
hot
is?
date the other week. I mean, there's a lot of you that are having hot dates, but this was like a really hot date, and they posted about
They're
it.
quite active in posting.
And they're funny. Every time I see their post, it like
funny.
makes me crack up. I love it.
They recently went on a Dateable meetup. Yes, that should.
Yes. Well, that's their hot
bell.
date. Anyone?
Ring some bells.
I think people know and just don't want to give it away.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to admit them.
Oh, Charles guessed it.
Here she is. We got Yen.
Yay!
Before we go into things with you, Yen, I do want to hear about your hot date with Hanadi. Can we like get the deets?
She reached out and we had never met each other. She reached out on Facebook. She slid into my DMs.
Oh damn, Hanadi.
And like invited me out on a formal date, and she was like, I want to pay you out. She picked the location and the restaurant, and she checked with me if it was okay, and I'm like, perfect. And she picked a bar next door for drinks afterwards. And it was like the perfect date, you know. It was absolutely the perfect date. We discussed what we would wear, you know, like we'll be dressing up, and we decided to dress up for it, and we had such a fun night. It was such a wonderful evening. It was just perfect in every way.
I do want to clarify that you and Hanadi have talked multiple times through video chat, though, before, right? This wasn't like just a random slide.
Yes.
It wasn't a.
That would be super aggressive, yeah. You're like,
we met on happy hour, and then she slid into my DMs.
There was a little bit of flirting going on first.
The
you know,
story is
a little
better.
Back and forth. I see. Yen, you're also wearing something that we can't really see right now. Can you? Yes, represent. Look at that. It almost glows, doesn't it?
Neon.
It does. It is quite electric.
I love it. Have you worn it on the street at all? Like, have you gotten any comments?
I have, but it's been cold, so I usually have something over it. But once in a while, I'll wear it to happy hour, which is quite nice as well. So it's the perfect t-shirt.
Nice. Well, things are about to heat up, so we'll see.
Janice says, Yen, you are a ray of sunshine in our group.
Oh.
And Ryan says, Yen is so perfect for this. Janice's like, so well deserved. Hannah's like, Yen, Sakib, Yen, Yasmin, Yen.
Oh my God, there's a lot of people going Team Yen. Love it.
Everyone is rooting for you. So we want to know a little bit more about you. Where do you currently reside?
I'm in San Mateo in California in the San Francisco Bay Area. But I was born in Malaysia. I grew up in Australia. And then I moved out here. So that's me.
So similar to Swanee. Grew up in or born in Malaysia. And how did you find us, out of curiosity?
So I found you from Swanee. She, you know, after COVID hit, she had been like, there is this great Facebook group and there is this podcast. You have to listen. And I'm very monogamous, and I already had a podcast in my life at that time. And I only do one podcast at a time, very monogamous. And I had a very long relationship with this podcast. And like, it's been like 3 years at that time. And I didn't know if I was ready for another podcast, you know, and I dabbled a little bit back and forth. And with COVID, you know, people change and the needs of, you know, my mental health changed. And I fully decided to commit to the Dateable podcast at that point.
Love it.
And, you know, ended my long relationship.
You did?
Yes.
Cold turkey.
Cold turkey. It just didn't fit anymore. I tried to listen to them on my walks, and they were older males, and now we had younger energetic females in my ear, and it just fits so much better.
I love your analogies. Your analogies crack me up so much. Yen posted the other day that Swanee posted about a master date on her own having dim sum, and Yen's like, I had two men all over me today, my chiropractor and my massage therapist. You have the best spin of things, which is part of why you're community member of the month.
You're also so playful. Your playful nature is what draws people to you. Everybody describes you as a ray of sunshine. You brighten up the room, even though if it's virtual. What is your secret? How did you get to this disposition of such like sunshiny happiness?
I think like I'm a very positive person, like for good and for bad. I'm very, very positive. And I'm a single mom. So I have a daughter who is like, if you think I'm sunny of disposition, she is like stellar, you know? And so it's sort of, we bounce off each other that
Yeah.
way a lot. And she's just very up, and we try to sort of always look at different things that happened in life, even if it was a negative thing, and find the positive spin in it. I think it sort of helps the mental health as well
Mm.
to always look for a positive spin. Like even out of COVID, I
Mm-hmm.
found this community.
Mm-hmm.
This community would never have formed without it, and I would have never met so many wonderful people across the country without it. So I'm very thankful for it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes you need to do a friend date. Like, I love that you and Hanani did that. Yue and I are actually going on a friend date tonight,
I
which we're
know.
excited about. But sometimes you need to do that in addition to romantic relationships, is really nurture these other relationships in your life. It's not just 100% romance all the time.
Very true. Very, and I think like we enjoyed that evening so much, and it definitely lifted my spirits so
Hmm.
much. And it kind of, because we've all been isolating and not hanging out with people as much, it just
Hmm.
reminded me what that human connection is
Yes.
and how very important it is. And as much as virtual stuff is fun, that very intimate human connection is also very necessary.
Totally. Well, the best part is you could take it online to offline, right? It's like, so tell us a bit about what your dating life has been like during COVID. Like, what's been going on for you?
Oh, it's been a challenge.
Mm.
So just a little back history. I've never really dated
Mm.
until 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. And so before that, I've always met my partners in my life, from school, from work, from friends, and so forth. I'd never really been on a date. I think like one date here or there, but I've never like gone on 20 dates, and then end up in a relationship. So I only started dating 2 years ago, and then ended up in a relationship with someone for most of that year. And COVID was very interesting because I kind of liked it. I
Mm.
like that it slowed down.
Hmm.
I like that, I got over my fear of video dates during COVID.
Yep.
So I had a lot of pluses. And then for the first year, I was dating somebody. I met somebody during COVID that I would never have dated
Mm.
because they were outside of my driving circle. And there was no traffic now. And so,
Your Uber radius just expanded tenfold.
right, exactly. So I think without traffic, they would have been like close to an hour away, and during COVID, they were 20 minutes away. So I was dating somebody, but it was sort of like that COVID intensity,
Mm.
because there was no other interactions.
Exactly.
So we dated for about 6 months, and I think I only saw him interact with other people, like talking to other people, like twice.
Hmm.
Because we would get takeout, we would hang out at home, and but I mean, it was just a very interesting experience out of it. And then now back to looking around, but I am not doing great with all the apps and so forth, and just slowing it down is what I'm doing right now.
You
Mm.
got to do what's right for you. And I think the other element of that makes you so fascinating, Yen, is that you come from such an international background. And
Hmm.
then out of curiosity, because I hear this a lot from my friends who didn't grow up in the US, is that this dating multiple people and going on multiple dates is sort of an American thing. Did you experience that in Australia? Is there such thing as dating there?
I think there is, but I wasn't like I left when I was 22,
Ah,
and everybody had met up to that point. I had met through friends, I had, been in university with and so forth. I think there is dating, but I can't speak to it, I've been out of the country for 20 years, but I think also there things are much more casual in the
Mm.
sense of you would just meet somebody and buy them a beer, right? That's like a
Mm.
pickup line. If
mm.
a girl bought a guy a beer, then sorry, I'm thinking Australian, so my accent is changing.
Oh, you're a
We're seeing
chameleon.
it like on
Let
its
it,
own. I
yeah,
love
let
it.
it come out.
Yeah, I can switch over really fast. I just think
Oh
about
my
it and
God,
it
I
comes
hear
out.
it.
So cool.
You,
But yes, so I think it's a lot more casual that way. But I think people still have the same struggles, with the finding the right match, finding the partnerships. But over there, it's very acceptable to be living with somebody and not married and
hmm
not sort of defining it that you're their partner. But other than that, you don't define it further. So it's a different look at relationships that way.
So we need like a DINK acronym for that. Like not married, partnered up. I don't know. Someone in the comments come up with
A
that.
wink. I don't know. It's just something that rhymes with dink,
A
but sounds
wink,
better. I don't know what the W stands for. Just go with it. Okay.
not
Woman.
N wink. Yeah, I don't know. So where do you see like what do you think is going to happen post COVID? Like now that we're all starting to get vaccines and there's like a light at the end of the tunnel, like what do you think this means for your dating life or what are you taking with you?
I actually don't know. It terrifies me because I've
Mm.
never been somebody, I don't really drink. So I've never been somebody to go to the bar and pick somebody up at the bar. I've always been someone who met people through connections, through friends and so forth. I am looking forward to hanging out with friends more and maybe, meeting their circles. I actually enjoy the slower pace of dating during COVID. So
Hmm.
I would not want to sort of speed that up.
Mhm.
But I did take a tip from Julie. One of the first podcasts I had heard, you were like, "Oh no, I go to like phone or video date really fast
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted to fail fast." And Yue was like, "No, I'm the opposite." So I was more the Yue, and I was like, "Oh, I understand this fail fast thing." Because I used to be like, "No, you need to text me for 2 weeks before I like meet
Totally.
you,"
Oh,
you
Yes.
know.
no, no one has
Yes.
And
time for that.
right,
Come
Yeah.
on.
Uh-uh.
And I also feel like it's really hard to tell through text. You know, like I'll give a little teaser, but we have our episode coming up talking about just like, dating post pandemic, where we're going to have a lot of the hosts. And Shieldy actually talks about this with her current boyfriend about like how through text she had a totally different impression than when they met in person. And I think it's tough to like bank that much on written word. And I think that's where, profile judgments and messages and all that, I think is talking as soon as possible is the way to go.
It's just
yeah.
hard. Some people are just so bad at texting. That's the
Right.
thing. And they could be phenomenal in person.
Totally.
I've had more the opposite. Like,
Mm.
there's been a couple of times when they were guys, I was so excited on the first date because I was like, this guy is awesome. And we had, great texting, great phone date. And then I'm like, this could be the last date I go on. And I meet them for the first time. And I'm like, nope, this isn't it.
We've all
Very
been there,
early
girl.
I
We've
remember
all
my
been there.
roommate, my one of my old roommates was saying that. She's like, I think I met the love of my life. And I'm like, why don't you go on a date with him first? Like, she's like, he's so funny. And then she got back and she's like, yeah, it didn't translate in real
right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because they could take hours trying to find a witty comeback,
Right.
but in
Or like
person they don't have hours.
consult someone to write it for them. Who knows?
Yeah.
One last question for you, Yen, and I want to give a disclaimer to this group. We are not matchmakers. We are not trying to pimp anybody out in this group. But Yen is single and she is lovely. So I'm just curious, for anybody out there who may have a friend
I
or
was like,
two,
where are you going with this? Okay, there we go.
just roll with it. Play with me here. Play with me for a second. How, instead of asking you what you're looking for in a partner, Yen, I'm going to ask you, how do you want to feel in a relationship? What are those feelings that you're looking for?
That's a really great question. Um, I want to feel attractive. I want to feel like I'm interesting to somebody. I want to feel secure with them, and I want to feel happy, like excited to see them every time, and always have that sort of like buzzy feely in my stomach, the butterflies that, I'm going to go see that person, or we're going to go do something together. And just the excitement about the exploration that we would do together.
I have a good feeling for you in
Me
2021. I have a good
too.
feeling. Feeling it.
Me too. And I really think just putting it out into the universe, telling the
Mhm.
universe what are those feelings you're desiring, the universe will match you
Yeah.
with those feelings.
Thank you.
And in the
You feel
meantime, you can go on hot dates with Hanadi and all the other
it.
people in the sounding board crew. So it's a win-win.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, Hannah says she would trust any of the three of us to be matchmakers, just saying. So,
Okay, good to
side
know.
business, the three of us. We want to do something.
Well,
Well,
thank
that's
you
it.
so much. Yeah, we're so excited that you are the April Community Member of the Month. I feel like we need to make like some sort of,
Plaque.
badge, or it's like I'm like envisioning like, yeah, it's a plaque, like envisioning like at like, when they'd have like the wall of photos of everyone. We need to do something. So we'll get on that. But congratulations. We're so glad you were able to join us at the live stream. And then for everyone else, there is going to be a happy hour in the sounding board group. We have three amazing hosts. We have Janice,
Woo!
Jason, and then we have Brian, who's going to be coming in after dark, heating things up.
Oh, yeah.
And we also have, again, like we mentioned, the Rediscover Your Play with Jeff Harry, how to bring play into like dating. It's going to be such a fun time. I feel like Yen can just lead the charge here already, which is going to be but all of us are going to flex those playful muscles. Wow, I can't speak. Playful muscles. And we do have limited spots because we do like to keep these kind of intimate so everyone can really kind of like get that one-on-one, almost like essentially one-on-one time with someone like of Jeff's caliber, which it amazes me all the time actually
Mm-hmm.
when we think about this. So definitely get your spot today. We'll be, posting, I think there's a teaser video coming that Louise and him were putting together.
Woo!
So yeah, definitely check that out. Grab your spot if this sounds interesting. It's going to be a good one.
And you can find all the info at at dateablepodcast.com/sounding board. Forgot the name of our podcast for a sec.
I think it's time for Yue and I to get some wine, basically.
Time for wine. Happy hour time. Congrats, Yen. So well deserved.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being part of our community.
And thank you for choosing me for the April member.
Yeah.
Of course.
And thanks everyone for watching. We'll be back next month for another community member of the month. But until then, see you in happy hour if you're part of the sounding board, or see you in your years. I don't know. I try to do something there. We'll see you on our podcast.
Keep those DINK acronyms coming.
Okay, bye y'all. Oh, we say Dateable together. Here we go. On the count of 3. Oh yeah, she's gonna shimmy with that shirt on. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Stay dateable.